Live from Los Angeles, welcome to Good Morning La La Land. I'm Dr. Erin.
I'm Rob Mack.
And I'm Jez Moye. This is Good Morning La La Land, America's first live streaming daily talk show, coming to you live Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Also available on Apple TV and Roku via the EverTalk app.
And it's hashtag Transformation Tuesday. We're going to talk about transforming, going beyond form, knowing that it's all within. We come together each morning to know the truth, live on spiritual principle, and align with universal law, and have fun with my BFFs.
That's right. That's right, Dr. Erin. I love it. It's all within.
It is all within.
Amen to that.
We're so excited to celebrate this hashtag Transformation Tuesday with our very special guest in the house. Good morning, everyone, back in the studio.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Apparently the coffee hasn't kicked in yet either.
It will, in time.
Brandon from Deck the Hallmark is with us. Good morning.
Hi there.
Hi, we're so excited to know all about your Christmas in July tour later in the show. Rumor has it you've got your other two sidekicks with you.
The other
too.
two boys are here somewhere. I don't know where they are, but they're somewhere. Hey.
Roaming around.
Well, we can't wait to talk about all of the movies we love to love and love to hate on Hallmark. But first, tell us, how do you start your day? What's your morning routine? Are you really Christmas year-round?
Yeah, well, usually I put on some Christmas music, of course, some hot chocolate, maybe some coffee. I don't know. I play with my child, and then I go and I conquer the day. You know what I mean? I conquer the day.
I love that. Love that attitude.
No, you slay the day, okay?
I slay the
That's
day.
right. Nice, Jez.
All the puns intended.
So what you did there, Jez. It was very clever. Very clever.
Well, thank you so much for being with us. We have got award-winning author Davina in the house, and it is never too late to be yourself. Good morning, Davina.
So I always start my day with coffee. That's like the number one. And then some days meditation, other days going to the gym, and then just being grateful, being happy to wake up, and just do another day. So thank you.
There it is. Appreciation is magnetic.
Yeah.
Saw that in the book there.
That's Rob Mack's geniuses.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. Opening hearts and minds, one story at a time. We have got the CEO of Studio Movie Girl in the house. Good morning, Brian.
Hey, good morning.
Oh, thank you so much for being with us today. We're so excited to know all about the 4th annual event happening, the Opening Hearts and Minds Awards later today. But first, how do you start your day? What's your morning routine?
I always started off with visualization, then hit the workout a little bit on flexibility, and then like to get with the kids and make a good breakfast and just talk about the day and get them ready for school and get them ready for whatever the events of the day are.
I love that. So what does your visualization consist of?
Usually it has a film relationship, so I might start off with some sort of prompt that's based on a film or a certain kind of character, and it kind of focuses me for the day on what I want to achieve and how the energy I want to put off.
Love that. Excellent.
So good. Well, we're going to need a little extra sugar this morning as Candy Washington is in the house. She is an actress with style and a master in self-care. Good morning, Candy.
Good morning. How are you?
We're so grateful that you're here with us. We can't wait to talk all about your podcast and production company and, of course, the Billionaires Blogger Society later in the show. But first, how do you start your day? What's your morning routine?
I start my day by setting my intention for the day, whether it's my intention to be productive, to be creative, to relax, or be joyful. And then every decision I make is in alignment with my intention for that day.
Fantastic. What's your intention today?
My intention today is to share and to have fun and to be open.
Excellent. You've already accomplished that just by being here.
Isn't she sweet? With a name like Candy. Well, thank you so much for being with us. I couldn't help it.
Oh my God.
I had to. Good morning, Liliana. She is the producer of the new award-winning festival, Darling, the Creatress, starring Fran Drescher. How are you today, Liliana?
Hi, I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
We're grateful that you're here. We want to know all about the film, but first we want to know, how does a producer start her day? What's your morning routine?
Coffee. That's the main thing. And I'm originally from Colombia, so coffee is always the first thing, and sometimes a workout. It just depends on the day. Mondays, no workout, but coffee
The
definitely.
world really does run on coffee, doesn't it?
Drugs.
Unbelievable.
Drugs. I say day, drugs. So true.
Well, thank you so much for being us. We've got half of Jackson with us this morning. Hi, Richard. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Oh, we're so excited. These two guys are seriously vibing in California. They are singer-songwriters on the rise. So how does a musician like you start his day? What's your morning routine?
Yeah, it depends on the day. Sometimes coffee. I'm not the biggest coffee guy, I gotta admit. Shower, and then I probably do some reading for an hour, whether it be in my, whether it be in my Bible or poetry. I read a lot of poetry too, so a lot of reading.
Nice.
Oh, super cool. What are you reading these days?
Right now I'm reading some R.H. Sin. He's a good poet, and then lately I've been in Matthew in my Bible. So yeah.
Awesome. Love it.
Awesome. Well, thank you all so much for being with us on Transformation Tuesday. We look forward to continuing the conversation later in the show.
I love that. So speaking of candy and that she's sweet and the pun on the word, Jessalyn, I heard for a minute before the show you're talking about how you got your name, because everyone always says Jessalyn's like, it's like your mom was the best brand or this.
I know. You do have the
But like,
greatest name
tell
ever.
us a little bit about how you actually how she came up with the name.
Yes, I was actually born Jessalyn Moye. I'm so grateful to my mom. I have Jessalyn.com, so pretty amazing.
It's impressive.
And the single Instagram handle, and all because she is a creative genius and she was really thinking on her feet. She had every intention of naming me Jessica Lynn. And when I was born, there were 4 other Jessicas in that hospital that day. And she said, well, my daughter can't have the same name as everyone else. This isn't going to work for her. She knew me from a very young age. So she combined the names and changed the S to a Z to give it a little more flair, and she came up with Jessalyn.
That's actually unusual, you
it's
know.
beautiful.
Although you're much younger than me, so maybe it's not as. Maybe it's starting to get a little bit
No,
more
it's
creative.
true. She's the first the only Jessalyn I've ever met.
And I
right?
hope the only
Yeah.
one.
I know.
Yes.
Yes,
Well,
thanks, Mama.
kudos to your mom.
Yeah.
It's a good name.
And she apparently knew what was going to happen with the Instagram thing, because it's like Madonna, Beyonce, and Jessalyn. It's amazing. The little ones are
Right?
yeah.
It's no joke.
Yeah, whose name is actually their handle.
Yeah,
Seriously.
in good company.
Oh my
In
gosh.
good company.
So speaking of, I get all these messages on Instagram and social media, beautiful messages from people around the globe, thanking for whatever, and it really makes my day. Honestly, it's what keeps my fire going. It's like candy for my soul, right? So I got this one message from a gentleman that sent me a picture of himself in a wheelchair, and he said, thank you so much for all your messages. I totally agree with everything. I'm the happiest I've ever been in my entire life in a wheelchair, and I recognize that everything is in mind, and this has been the blessing of his circumstance.
Wow.
So today on Transformation Tuesday, just thinking about beyond the form, and I think so many of us think if we just get more money, if we just get the better relationship, if we just get that title, if we just get the breakthrough, whatever that is, that one day we will arrive to having a great life. And this man just like touched my life just by one picture and one message around just like, think about how cool that is,
Oh, I
right?
love that. What's that expression? If you're going in the wrong direction, more speed won't matter, And it's just so true. I think we often get caught up in the idea that, oh, well, I know that 70,000 didn't make a huge difference, but maybe 170,000 will. Oh, no, it's not that. It's 1.7 million. It's like endless. But that's the trap of sort of seeking happiness in the world and not in yourself.
So true. So
I like
amazing.
to drive fast and take chances. And I definitely am a risk taker. I've never really been one for stability, even though I grew up in a very stable environment. Everybody played by the rules and lived by the book. And it just never worked for me. But I was having this conversation with myself on the way to the studio, and I thought, am I dreaming too big? Am I risking too much to really play the game the way I want to play it, to play in this kind of league? Am I risking?
But that's transformation. That's beyond the form. You have to, like Ron
Yeah.
said yesterday, you have to be a little bit delusional.
You have to
in
be very
some-
delusional.
In some
Very
way to
delusional.
actually hit
I'll
your.
take it
Yeah,
as
yeah.
a compliment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I mean, seriously, it's no truth.
Yeah,
It's no
if
joke.
you sort of do what everybody's always done, and you based what you think is possible on what everybody's already accomplished, you wouldn't accomplish anything new,
Yeah.
right? So the only way to accomplish it is to believe that it's possible. And we do know that optimists generally have better lives all around, and they accomplish a lot more. So yeah.
I don't believe that.
You don't
Just
believe that?
kidding.
Exactly.
Yeah, of course
That's
I
beautiful.
don't.
Very well said. Yeah.
Speaking of, Girl Church is tonight. I'm so excited, and we're doing Love Soul Session is the theme of all of it, which has been really great. But I'm actually going to be teaching some breath work, because breath work has been one of the most transformational thing of my life.
So explain breath work to people in case they don't know.
Sure. So breath work from a spiritual perspective is kind of that life source. You can actually rev up the cells via breath work. And there's this, infinite intelligence and infinite power that we can tap into beyond food. It really is. There's a force. It's like revving up. It's like works itself, if you will. So we're teaching breath of fire, which is one of the greatest ones.
Which Jessalyn calls.
I call it the arms fire. You breathe in and out and go like this for 3 minutes, and I was like, oh my God, my arms are burning.
So I'm not
right
going to
now.
be doing the up. You can do it without the up and down arms. You can just hold your arms up, which is the typical way I do it. But it's really invigorating. And then we're teaching alternative nostril breathing, which is a pattern interrupt for the brain hemispheres. And then we're going into the 1 minute breath, which is 20 seconds in, 20 seconds holding, and 20 seconds exhale. So these are tools you can do for 3 minutes in your life that will completely transform how you're feeling about everything. So
I just
I'm
love
excited
that.
about it.
Yeah, I mean, I still swear by micro meditations, like just simply breathing from the stomach as often as humanly possible without thinking about anything else. Like, that one practice has transformed my life probably more than anything I've ever read.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's really interesting. One of our guests said you could really meditate when you washed your hands. So I'm not personally a very, should I say, a scheduled meditator. I rarely ever meditate, let's be honest. But I try and be conscious about it, even as simply as when I wash my hands. When I have my hands in that water, there's something about that is so therapeutic to me, and it really releases my emotions in a way where I find it very grounding. And I can just take a deep breath, even for that 20 seconds I'm washing my hands, and I micro-meditate.
So that's profound, Jez, because like there's an expression in Zen which is that it's only painful to do the dishes when you're not doing the dishes. Meaning that when you're thinking about something else, your mind is focused on something else, all of a sudden it's very painful to do the dishes. But when you're there and you're present and you're simply enjoying the water and you're enjoying the dishes, it's actually quite pleasant.
Right. And they do call it holy water because all water, if your hands, even though I was thinking about it, it's actually going all the way down to the source of whatever because it's all connected. So energetically, it's a very therapeutic thing.
Super cool. So you'll be teaching that tonight at Girl Church.
Yeah, but we do Love Soul sessions, so we'll be talking all about living and breathing the metaphysics in relationship, knowing all of life is a relationship. So whether you're single, dating, married, or whatever, it's really about embodying, how to actually be in relationship with everything.
Yeah, and especially yourself. It's the one person you can't divorce. Tried, man. I tried. I was like, I gotta divorce this guy. He's a problem.
I'm in love now. I'm not talking about. Anyway, let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk to our amazing guests about how they have transformed their lives. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Where can you watch the stories of people changing the world? EverTalk TV, the Netflix of talk. I'm GMLA, the co-founder and host of EverTalk TV, and I am thrilled to introduce you to America's first live video streaming talk show network.
I'm so excited to be here on the couch with all you amazing people.
Yeah.
I'm just in complete awe. Thank you.
Happy to be here. And for those who don't know what goes on, this is a big old, there's a lot going on here. You do this every day.
Live.
God bless you guys. I mean, people, there's a lot going on.
Thank you for having me. This is an awesome studio.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Oh,
I feel that, actually. I can feel that.
How exciting Motivation Monday. And the guests this morning have been incredible.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here with you.
And we have Rachel Boston, who is in The Last Bridesmaid on Hallmark. It actually is dropping tomorrow, the 22nd, right?
It is. Tomorrow night's our premiere.
Woo!
Congratulations. I am so excited to welcome Jason and Ashley Waller to the show. Congratulations on the new beginnings. We're so excited for the premiere on MTV tonight.
Thank you guys. We appreciate it. Thank you. The book is actually being shipped out today. It published this week.
Congratulations.
You guys are the first show that I've actually done on talking about the book.
I think this is my first time my book's been up on TV. This is awesome.
Our friends at Universal Pictures have a special delivery for us this morning from a tethered himself. Have you seen the film Us by Academy Award winner Jordan Peele?
You know, I'm sitting here next to you guys, and it's just like, this is a powerful moment for me. Like, I'm humbled by it because it's like I'm sharing this movie with you guys, and it's moving for me.
What are you most grateful for today?
I am so grateful to be here and to have the opportunity to be with all these wonderful, badass boss babes and with all of you. And it's just a wonderful opportunity to share the positive messages out in the world because I think the world really needs it right now.
What we've done and thanking me for the contribution we're making to their lives.
Oh,
and I thought,
nice. That's
this
great.
is what my purpose is. This is why I was born. Now,
Show it off.
up to you to choose the winner. Is it Annie? Is it Haley?
That's why I like this show. You know, years ago I did the Dinah Show, which is Dinah Shore, and it was a daytime show. And it was kind of like this. And it was just like very up, and it was all positive stuff. They didn't bring negative stuff to the audience. And that's why I feel with this show. It's very relaxed. You know, it's very professional, but it's quite a bit of fun.
You can binge watch and binge watch.
You can binge watch.
And you can binge watch. Binge watch, or you can binge watch. Please binge watch.
You can binge watch and binge them on EverTalk TV. Thanks for coming. Bye.
First TV experience. I'm so happy I did it with you.
will inspire, uplift, and empower you. Anytime, anywhere on EverTalk TV, your home for talk.
Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. On Transformation Tuesday, nothing better than some great movies that have transformed our lives. So Brian Schultz is in the house. He's the founder of Studio Movie Grill. How are you?
I'm great. I'm glad to be here. Talk about opening hearts and minds one story at a time.
Right?
An incredible mission. I mean, you're clearly very much in alignment with what we're doing here at La La Land. But what put this on your heart?
Well, honestly, I've had 5 near-death experiences, from motocross to being mauled by a dog and having all these different experiences. And what kind of brought me through was this idea of archetypes and stories. So I use film as a way to learn and kind of a way to kind of push through some of these things. And you know, if you don't have hope and you don't have someone to look up to, it's really hard to thrive. So that's what we're trying to do for the communities that we're in. And now we're up to 32 locations nationwide, and Studio Movie Grill is doing it, you know, really one story at a time.
And you have an incredible, loyal fan base with a lot of Hollywood celebrities.
Yes.
Let's take a look.
Kevin Hart here. Welcome to Studio Movie Grill.
Hi, Studio Movie Grill movie fan.
Hi, Studio Movie Grill moviegoers.
Studio Movie Grill. This is not the question.
No,
we drink
I might be
movies.
back.
It's this way.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Let's do that. It's like food. It's like
Yeah.
a restaurant, but a restaurant that caters to movies.
Have you ever been to Studio Movie Grill?
I have, yeah, tons of times. Yeah, for sure. Texas, major. So, of course, I love it. I love it.
This is Studio Movie Girls asking me while your fans are asking us.
Everybody needs a good Christmas shirt and sweater for the holiday parties.
Let's get effed up. That's great. Let's get effed up. Wait a minute. That is. That's fantastic.
Great. Guess what I'm wearing Christmas morning?
Yes. Oh my God, for sure.
I see you guys at the movies. That means you too, Schultz. Yeah, you.
That
Love
is
it.
awesome.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
So which archetype are you?
You know, it really depends on the situation. So I try to have that open mind of just really exploring and trying to create that even space. When I
So
first,
you're an actor. No, just kidding.
I
You can
do
be all
actually
the
have a
archetypes.
background in musical theater, but that's part of it. Acting really teaches you a lot about storytelling and how to actually make an impact. So I've enjoyed that. But I really want to tell, you know, all our employees, all our guests, all our community members what's possible, and they can use these stories that are repeating, you know, through mythology, through film, through all kinds of stories, to how they can change their lives and make a difference. So we're in transformation.
That's right. That's
it's
the
a good
hero's journey,
chance.
right? That's the ultimate.
Yeah, Joseph
transformation,
Campbell,
yeah.
I think, just does such a great job of this recurring story of being a hero, going out into the community and then slaying that dragon and then coming back and sharing those gifts.
Do you think we'll ever go past that typical hero's journey of the dark night, the soul, and all that stuff?
Where I think the extension of the hero's journey comes in is as you start pushing it forward. So it's not just your story, it's actually our combined story. So as we get more inclusion, I'm kind of fighting against polarity. As we get more and more separated, as the algorithms and, you know, social media kind of pull us further and further apart, we can bring ourselves together by looking at a lot of different topics in different ways.
And enjoy a good meal and a great movie.
Served at your table.
Served at your table at the Studio Movie Grill.
Yeah.
And tonight you're honoring Pat Gonzalez, who's made an incredible impact in the community as well. Can you tell us
She
a little
really
bit
has.
about what her contribution has been and why you chose to honor her?
Yeah, Pat's just an amazing person, and she's the Senior VP of Distribution at Paramount. And she actually uses the film to help people all over. So when we ask, can we get a film that can help kids with social emotional learning, she's always been the first one to say yes. And then we started investigating a little bit what her wake has really been in the Los Angeles area. And it's been absolutely amazing. So she's absolutely a trailblazer when it comes to making a difference in our industry and using film and, you know, all this stuff towards the benefit of the local community. So I think that's cool, and we really want to honor her with this award for us because she's an exemplar, hopefully, for a lot of other folks in the industry to really aspire to making a difference.
Wow, just profound. You know, I love the focus on sort of heroes, and of course, you're a hero. I mean, 5 near-death experiences. My mind is stuck on that, and I wonder, where movies must have played a pretty big role in helping you sort of get through those moments. What was it about movies and those near-death experiences that helped you navigate life more effectively?
Yeah, I mean, we could do a whole show on that, but let's just start maybe with the first one. When I was really young, I was mauled by a dog and suffered with really extreme stuttering and then learning disabilities kind of related to blood loss and some things that were going on there. And it was really film and then performing that really taught me, like when you sing, you actually don't stutter. So it gave me the confidence to pull myself out. And I see kids, meet them all the time that just don't have the confidence in themselves. So how can we actually give the tools and the visualization of, what's possible? And maybe you start by playing a character and that becomes the character. I actually like trying on a lot of different perspectives. Earlier on in my career, when I worked in politics, I was all about advocating a particular perspective, and that's evolved into how do I create the platform through Studio Movie Grill that people can exchange ideas. And maybe on a different day, like we might have two groups that have totally polar ideas, and we like the idea of them exploring those and how can they make their
And now you can honor them with the awards, Opening Hearts and Minds
Exactly.
Awards, 4th annual. Tell us a little bit about the presentation.
Well, the presentation is going to be at our Monrovia Theater, which has a story to itself. It's an older theater that was suffering, that was kind of going to close down, so we fully renovated it, added in-theater dining, made it absolutely spectacular in the old part of Monrovia, which is so cool. And then we're going to have the Boys and Girls Club in, and we're going to do a special screening of Dora the Explorer. And then we're going to go into social emotional learning as it relates to being able to explore your dreams, explore your passions. So I think that that's really great. And we're so thankful for Paramount for allowing us to see the film early, and it's absolutely fabulous.
Well, and we're so thankful for you and the light and impact you're really creating in this world through Studio Movie Grill. Please tell everyone where they can find and follow Studio Movie Grill and your personal journey.
Yeah, studiomoviegrill.com. And then if you go on our website, you can actually check out some of these stories, whether it's our employees, whether it's our guests, and really be on the journey with us to make a difference in opening hearts and minds one story at a time.
Thank you so much, Brian.
So much.
Stay tuned. We'll be back with more on Good Morning
Thank you.
La La Land. Where can you watch the stories of people changing the world? EverTalk TV, the Netflix of talk. In a digital media world filled with incredible podcasts that are the evolution of radio, EverTalk is bringing this audio experience to television. I'm Jezza Moye, the co-founder and host of EverTalk TV, and I am thrilled to introduce you to America's first live video streaming talk show network. EverTalk is an entertainment and lifestyle platform that illuminates consciousness and showcases inspiring stories that offer insight, inspiration, and thought-provoking conversations on positivity, wellness, Insta-fame, and empowerment, all while celebrating the trials and triumphs of those who are igniting a positive change in the world. These curated talk shows are hosted by passionate, talented personalities who themselves have been inspired by others to give back through their on-air efforts and create a community to helping our viewers live the life they truly deserve. New binge-worthy content is added daily, and our EverTalk algorithms are designed to give our subscribers the programming they really desire. These shows are streamed in high definition and are available online and across all major video platforms, including Apple TV and Roku. EverTalk is #community powered, so we are excited to offer you a free 30-day subscription to explore the talk shows that will bring you timeless entertainment and evergreen conversations that will inspire, uplift, and empower you anytime, anywhere on EverTalk TV, your home for talk. Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. I'm so excited to welcome Candy Washington to the show. She is an actress with style who can truly transform lives, not only through her Billionaires Blogger Society, but through sugar pills, and figuratively. Congratulations on the success of your podcast.
Thank you.
You are really slaying it.
Yeah.
Tell us about your journey.
So my personal journey, I actually grew up in upstate New York, a really sleepy town, and then I went to Georgetown and I was on the pre-law track, and then I realized I don't really want to be a lawyer. I want to play one on TV.
So much more fun.
So much more
Yes.
fun. So much more fun. So I graduated, decided not to go to law school. I went to New York instead, worked in PR for Louis Vuitton, and then I started acting on the side and blogging on the side and doing social media on the side, all these like really fun, creative things and telling stories. And then I just got to the point in my own life, since we're talking about Transformation Tuesday, where did I really want to spend my time and my energy? Because I had reached my capacity for all of it, working a full-time corporate job and then doing all these, creative outlets. And so I got serious on what's my purpose. What is Candy Washington's purpose on this planet? And it was to add life to the values of others through storytelling.
How'd you decide that?
I probably
Just
was
felt
listening to like Oprah or Deepak or like jamming out to some Brene Brown. So I think I just really got down to what are my values and what are my passions. I value connecting with people. I value, elevating somebody else's life and story and spreading joy. And I also value, being on camera and writing and experiencing and connecting and creating community. So I kind of just distilled what are the things that I value and what are the things that I'm passionate about, and then that became my purpose. So I quit my job, moved to LA, and just started writing, doing the podcast, and acting.
Wow.
So that was my journey.
Did you ever look back?
Of course. full transparency.
Right.
There are days I wake up and I'm like, what am I doing? All of my friends are doctors and lawyers.
But let me tell you, Candy, you make it look really good. Let's take a look at some of the content you've created.
Yeah.
My current relationship to money is, it's a tool that I use to open up the space to do what I love. You can have a goal, and I believe that you should be beholden to that goal, but you should be flexible in how you make that goal happen. You're worth it, and you deserve to live the life that you see for yourself. And truly the only barrier to that is how far you're willing to take it.
So true, so true. So tell us, on your podcast, what is the actual content? Everything from understanding money to blogging to what is?
Yeah, so the podcast, it's Sugar Pills, your weekly dose of inspiration to transform your life, which is what we're talking about. And it's actually the companion to my book, Sugar Pills, 10 Days to Awaken Your Inner Power. That's on Amazon and Amazon Kindle. And the book really was a passion project for me to kind of take a look behind the scenes of being a creative professional. Like, what does it really take? How do you have perseverance when you hear no way more often than you hear yes? How do you create a tribe of people who want to collaborate with you and have a similar vision and mission in mind when you're constantly bombarded by people who are like, oh, well, what's your press contact, and then never talk to you again? Or like, follow me on Instagram and then won't follow you back. Or they just, have the agenda of, I want something from you, like, what can you do for me type of energy. So how do you navigate all of those lows and almost negatives and the rejection and the disappointment, but then still stay focused and energized and positive and open and collaborative?
So how do you do that?
Yeah, so what is that? Tease that out real
nice. 10 days to awaken your inner power. You do it by, one, having a strong sense of self. One of the best pieces of advice that I got was find yourself before you find your success. So being rooted and grounded in who you are, what are my values, what are my standards, create boundaries, having the will to say no and letting that be a complete sentence, and knowing that you can say no to something and say yes to yourself, and that doesn't mean you're going to be blacklisted or that no one's ever going to work with you again or people are going to think,
are you sure?
All this stuff. No, it's true. Like, I had to learn that. Like, again, back to like Queen Oprah. I was listening to her and she was saying how she had the disease to please. And I definitely had the disease to please. I would get a pit in my stomach whenever I had to say no to someone or turn something down or really ask for what I wanted and what my value was and what my worth was. And I had to learn how to get over that. And I learned how to get over it through journaling, through meditating, by taking inventory, and by practicing it. Because I was like, oh, wait a minute, I didn't die. I said no, and I'm still here.
I love on your website you say, come for the style, stay self-care.
Yes!
And you offer a self-care kit. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so there's the Essential Self-Care Starter Kit that I put together, and it's basically everything that I use, from Epsom salt baths to different meditations to adult coloring books to workout routines to, the type of water you drink.
Coloring book?
I know Erin has a very different idea than what it actually is.
No.
Like mantras, like
I can tell.
A coloring book specifically made for adults, not children, not an adult coloring book.
Leave it to me. My knowledge is good.
Yeah, I love it. It's actually called mindful coloring. So I just put on some music. I'll have a glass of rosé or a cup of tea, whatever the mood is, and I will just color. And it just lets my mind relax and turn off and just be focused and be present.
But what I love about you is, we met the other day with Joanna. Big shout out to her, is that you have this essence about you where everything you have your branding that goes in line, your smiles, and you're what we call authentic. Brands can be dissonance and something's off. It doesn't all add up. You seem to add up in so many ways, and I love your transparency around, what you've gone through, which I'm sure has been all entrepreneurs, some dark times.
Oh yeah.
What are those things for you? How are you persevering? Of course, beyond journaling, whatever. What are some of the things you help people get through? Just find their purpose and calling. Is that their primary thing that you're helping them overcome?
Yeah, so it's primarily their purpose and their calling. Usually they'll reach out to me and they think it's a business problem that they have. Right. And I think that all business problems are always internal problems, because everything starts and begins and ultimately ends within. So it's what is the talk that you're talking to yourself during this business problem? Are you secretly, subconsciously thinking, I'm a failure, everybody thinks I'm a joke, I really can't do this? That's the real energy that you're bringing to your business, whether it's subconscious or not. So it's really getting to the nitty-gritty of what is the self-talk that you're talking to yourself, and then those are the true problems that you need to answer and solve. And it's never about somebody else. And just on a personal note, that was a big reason why it took me so long not so long, but
Yeah, you're so old.
So long.
You finally figured it out.
But I mean that I was on that pre-law track for so long, and I didn't, I really wanted to go to New York or go to LA, but it took me so long to actually even say it out loud, because I felt if I said it out loud, then I was responsible for making it happen the way that I said I was going to make it happen. But then what if I go to LA and it doesn't work out? Everyone's going to be like, oh, she's just another statistic. She's just another girl who went to LA, thought she was going to be an actress. She's a failure. It was all this internal chatter that I was projecting onto other people, because the truth was that was my own self-judgment. I was actually thinking, what if I don't make it? What if I'm a failure? What if it doesn't work out? What if I can't support myself? What if I can't book a job? What if I don't know what I'm doing? That was my own internal chatter that I was projecting onto other people, because it's so much easier to say, they're judging me, they think this about me, than to say, I'm actually judging myself.
Thank you for being so real
and
keeping it 100 with us, Candy.
Yeah.
Please tell everyone where they can find and follow your journey.
Yes, you guys can follow me on my website, candywashington.com, and on Instagram @candywashington. And you can head over to thebillionairebloggersociety.com if you need any help with building your brand and making it purposeful. And then I just launched 1214mediaproductions.com. So you can head over there to see the books and the podcast and our digital media that we are creating.
Amazing.
Sugar pills.
And sugar pills. Back to more Good Morning La La Land. I'm Jasmine Woyeg, host of Good Morning La La Land on EverTalk TV. As a little girl with big dreams, I couldn't stop talking. I turned that into a career of premieres and red carpets and even a talk show. And recently, I had my aha moment. I was hosting a live event. A woman who represented a national cancer support community gently pulled me aside from the glitz and the glam, and she thanked me for mentioning their program on my show. Because of those few words that I had spoke on air earlier that week, one of our viewers battling cancer reached out and got the financial and emotional support she so desperately needed. I'm so grateful to have experienced that moment, a moment that truly reflects how much conversation and community matters. We need more of what matters. It is my passion and purpose to create content and lead a conversation that will ignite the light in my community and empower them to live their best lives starting today. I'm Jez Moye, and I'm a host on EverTalk TV.
Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning LaLa Land on Transformation Tuesday. It's never too late to transform your life, for sure. And no better to, Davina Katulski is in the house. She's an author, psychologist, life coach. It's an amazing book. It's never too late to be yourself.
Yes.
I love that title.
Thank
It's a
you.
great
Thanks.
title, right?
Thank you, Erin. Dr. Erin.
So tell us a little bit about your journey. How did you become, somebody who's transforming people's lives? It's a big place to be in life.
It's a pleasure to do
right?
this work. As the guests before have shared, and as you all have shared, it's about doing my own inner work.
Yeah.
I'm from Oregon originally, and I came out as LGBTQ in the 1980s.
Cool.
And a time when it was still illegal to be LGBTQ, and sort of spent a great deal of my time working.
Wait,
on,
it was illegal?
Yeah, it was illegal.
What, I don't know this. Please enlighten me.
Until 2003, it was against the law. In some states, you could be arrested and thrown in jail just for being
I did
an
not
LGBTQ
know
person.
this.
And
how did I not know this?
yeah, I got very involved in the marriage equality movement to change the laws because I had fallen in love and I wanted to get married, and I wanted everybody else to have that right too. So it's been like a lifetime journey.
I agree.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah. It's been a lifetime journey of working to just be myself and help other people be who they came here to be. So whether that's folks in the LGBTQ community or just anybody wanting to be more of who they are.
So what really blocks somebody from listening to their heart?
Well, we've been taught in the society to prioritize logic, right? I'm a psychologist. We learn how to analyze things, and in the academic world, it's about following logic. In the social world, it's about getting along with everybody else, right? And putting on our personas and trying to, do what makes what's socially respectable or acceptable. And I'm not saying that we need to create total anarchy here or throw out logic, but our hearts need to lead, right? We need to be able to come back to ourselves and say, well, what's important to me? Why am I here? What do I need to do? And we get going really fast. And I know I speak really fast sometimes too, but it's like we start living our lives so quickly, and we're trying to do so many things that we lose touch with our authentic essence.
So how was that? Because I'm not gay, but I feel like in my own spirituality, I had to come out of the closet with, like, it was scary to like come out with being what was my true self, right?
Yes.
So tell me, like, how was that for you? Like, where was that moment where you went, this is who I am? And like, I can't deny this, and I don't care what happens out there, how people receive it.
I was sitting outside and having a conversation with God. And it was one of these things where it was like, okay, well, you know what? You made me this way. And so either I'm going to accept this as a gift or I'm going to kill myself because, it can't be, it has to be one or the other. And I thought, well, that would be stupid to kill myself. So I'm going to accept that this is a gift, and I'm going to love myself. And I can't tell you that I loved myself 100% from that moment on, because I think we're always learning to love ourselves and letting go of layers of wounding and things of that nature.
Chills, just thinking about you out there, having that real conversation with yourself.
But we are all created in love by the Spirit, and and accepting who we are, that we are unique gifts, each one of us.
Love that.
Wow, just profound. Really incredible story. And I remember reading somewhere, psychology is the study of the soul. Psyche means soul.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, we've sort of taken this roundabout path there through logic and through the intellect, right, to reach the soul. And so I'd just love for you to talk to us a little bit about like what's worked for you in terms of discovering the self. Of course, we use logic, but to hear the heart, something entirely different is necessary. So how do you do that?
Yeah, we have to slow down. We have to make space for ourselves. And it can be like just taking 15 minutes a day and just what would make you happy in this 15 minutes. And it might be to get up and go for a walk. It might be to, I'm noticing the roses here. It might be smelling the roses, literally smelling the flowers, watching a sunset. Whatever you can do to just slow yourself down and start breathing deeply and connecting with yourself, with your heart, right? Not just with your head. Meditation, we talked about meditation. You were talking about meditation earlier. That's a great way to slow yourself down and to just clear out the cache, right? You want yourself to be present, right?
Got to defrag the system.
What about people like me who say, I do not have time to slow down.
Yeah.
Life is already moving way too fast.
Yeah.
If I slow down, I won't keep up.
Run over.
So what I've found is that when you slow down and you're living from your heart, you're going to be more in alignment with things, and you're not going to be creating resistance in your world. You're not rushing, so you're more in the flow. So it will actually create a greater flow state for you when you're in your heart. When you're in your heart, you're breathing deeply, you're relaxed, you're creating a state of, what the Heart Math Institute calls coherence, right? And that's a physiological state that really changes our heart rate rhythms. I'm not going to be able to say it precisely, but the waves are like this. Now with relaxation, the waves are even, but they're spiky, right? But when we're deeply relaxed and in a state of, we're in a coherent state, which is the heart state, it's this beautiful kind of gumdrop flow, I don't know. So when you slow down, when you're in your heart, you actually are more in the flow, you're more in alignment.
Thank you so much for sharing your story with us, Davina. Please tell everyone where they can find and follow your journey and get the book.
So you can get my book everywhere books are sold and online. And my website is davinakatulski.com. And if you go to davinakatulski.com/new book, you can download a free chapter of the book.
Oh, nice.
Thank you so much. Remember, it's never too late to be yourself. Stay tuned. We'll be back tomorrow. Good morning, LaLa Land. Where can you watch the stories of people changing the world? EverTalk TV, the Netflix of talk. I'm Jezza Moyer, the co-founder and host of EverTalk TV, and I am thrilled to introduce you to America's first live video streaming talk show network.
You can binge watch and binge watch.
You can binge watch.
And you can binge watch. Binge watch, or you can binge watch. Please binge watch.
You can binge watch and binge them on EverTalk TV. Thanks for coming. Bye.
That will inspire, uplift, and empower you anytime, anywhere on EverTalk TV, your home for talk. Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning LaLa Land. We are so excited to welcome the creative team behind The Creatress and award-winning festival favorite, Jason and Liliana. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
First of all, congratulations on the massive success. What do you think it is about this movie that's resonating with audiences worldwide right now?
I think it's the, thank you. Thank you, Jason. I think it's a unique story. It's a drama comedy, but it's not the usual type of comedy that you see. It makes audiences think because it mixes fantasy with reality, and as an audience, you have to figure out what is really the reality within the story and what is the fantasy. So it makes people even want to watch it twice or 3 times to really get the message.
What's the premise of the movie?
Well, it's about a writer who's following up her best-selling debut with a novel that is not so well received. A critic, played by Peter Bogdanovich, hates it so much and hates what she stands for that he writes a fake memoir just to ruin her career.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and she's a writer who's aspiring for more, because there's been so much that's been written out there. That it's hard to come up with something that's like new and important and worth people's time. I mean, there's just so much content out there, and that's a big problem for an author who's aspiring to be at the top. And that's the author's name is Erin Bello in the movie. It's played by Lindy Booth, and so she has to unpack all of this within the context or within the time frame of 100 minutes for the movie, and the audience.
She literally wants to pull her hair out.
Yeah. Exactly, and
tell us about the cast.
The cast. I mean, we had Lindy Booth, we had Peter Bogdanovich, like I said, and then you can see Fran Drescher on screen. It was really, really blessed. And then even beyond those 3, we had a lot of very big talent that we were really blessed with the film. Yeah.
Yes, we also have Kayla Ewell from Vampire Diaries. And she was great to work with as well. So that was fun.
Love that. I gotta say, as an author, I definitely resonate with the plot because I've literally been to like Books a Million, walked in and be like, when am I freaking writing a book? And, like literally millions of books. Have you experienced that as, you know, sort of filmmakers and, you know, creative folks? Have you experienced that yourself, and how do you get through that?
Yeah, of course. I mean, like, if you trace like the evolution of like styles of books, going back to like, you know, start with Pride and Prejudice, go back further than that. But then, you know, turn of the 20th century, you have a lot of like the postmodern type stuff where you have like James Joyce come in and I'm going to reinvent the form. Well, you know, that's kind of like the challenge where it's the same thing with music. Music is always evolving. You have the next style, the next style. Well, what's the next style of book? And I think that's what this author is looking to do. And then us as the filmmakers come in like, well, how do we make that journey identifiable? And so what we did is we crafted a movie that's more of like an experience of, you know, trying to fight that fight rather than just a traditional 3-act story.
Oh, I love
that.
that. Yeah. I'm already sold on that.
The struggle is real.
It is real.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So the movie is available August 27th.
Yes.
Tell everyone where they can watch.
Everywhere.
Yes,
Yes.
everywhere.
I love
Everywhere.
Yeah,
Well,
worldwide distribution.
yes, yes. It's going to be available as a limited run in theaters in the US, and then opens in digital platforms everywhere, US, Canada, and then international territories into September, October. We actually looking to open in theaters in the UK and England at the end of September as well. So we're going to start expanding beyond the US and Canada after August.
Exciting.
And in the meantime, is there a place they can follow the creatress on social media?
Yes, it's at the Creators Movie, the Creatress Movie on social media. They find us on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter.
Thank you so much.
Great job, you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Nice.
It is hashtag National Sour Candy Day. We want to thank our special friends from Pucker Powder for treating us today.
Hey, I'm gonna what is this?
What is that?
I don't know. It's like a.
Leave it to the DIY experts.
A sugar hookah. This looks like what I would fill up my car with, the tires. You know, the air thing.
For those of you watching who haven't met Tanya Mimi, she is an Emmy-nominated host.
Oh my God, you're so.
Southwest House, the Homer Colton family. She's a DIY expert, and she's always up for a challenge. So why not give her this sour? Here we go, Tanya.
Oh, come on.
Woo! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
Come on.
She's up for it. Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning LaLa, and these two guys are vibing. Jackson, thank you so much for being with us today. We're so excited. Congratulations, massive success recently.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
I mean, California is loving you. Tell us about your journey and why you created this, duo singing-songwriter Jackson.
Yeah, so we never thought we'd be doing music together. We met in college in Arkansas, actually. It's not California, a little further, but we met in college. And we spent one summer at the beach together, and we kind of just met and figured out he sings, I play guitar, like we both like music, we like the same music. Yeah. And we wrote a couple songs, we're like, when we get back in the fall, let's make music, because I had experience with it, and we did it, and just in our bedroom, threw a song together, threw it out on all platforms, and like within a month, it kind of blew up a lot bigger than we had thought.
Wow.
And we're like, maybe this is for us.
Yeah, maybe this will work.
The universe will tell you
yeah,
when you're
absolutely.
in flow.
What do you think it was about that song that made it go viral?
That's a great question. I wish I knew.
Could just replicate it.
It's got a different sound. Like we pull a lot of influences from, I think, different artists that we really like, and it kind of is a cocktail of those different artists, and I think that's what people really liked.
Yeah.
But
and I think you just feel the emotion in it too. Like we want to write music that people can feel, just because I feel like nowadays so many people just look for an outlet, to express their emotions through or to find emotions through, because they're numbing them with everything else like social media and such.
So true.
And so we want to create that.
Tell us about Hole in My Heart.
Yeah. So Hole in My Heart is a song we're releasing next Thursday. It's the song we've probably worked on most, like the longest out of any song, and put the most effort in. And just like our first release, I think it's a song that just you can feel a lot of emotion in, and you can just I feel like most people can relate with.
Right.
So we're excited for it to drop.
I think I love the concept of the feeling. You know, Joseph Campbell says, I don't think most people are looking for the meaning of life. They're looking to feel fully alive. You know, and I think that's what music does. Music can just take us to places that is like whatever. So how do you know when a song is like, oh, I feel that versus not so much?
Yeah.
With our music, I think for us when we're writing, we try our best not to force it, and I think our best writing and our best emotional songs come out when we're not forcing it.
It's great.
I heard Jay-Z say something very interesting. He was like, the whole challenge with music or doing anything creative is sort of stand out without trying. You know. So how do you guys do that? You know, when you notice that you're pushing it or forcing it, do you just step out or step away from it for a while?
Yeah, I think we definitely step back. We're like, all right, we're forcing it. Let's do something else. Let's focus on something else. Let's do something else.
That's so awesome.
So yeah, we definitely take a step back, and that's really cool. I like that.
It's all spiritual. It's all the same concepts. It's all metaphysical.
When would you say you guys are at your creative best? Are there certain things that you do that sort of pre-paves this creative spark for you, or not really?
You don't have to tell us.
Feels like it might not be integrated.
Yeah, I think we're both different. Rich is like, well, I'll say me. I'm a lot more like extroverted, and I love being around people. So I just get hit with creative bursts throughout the day. Like, and I can be more intentional. Like I can sit down and say, hey, I'm gonna make a song, and I just make something. With Rich, it's a little different.
No, I'm a lot more introvert. So like, my most creative hours are probably like 10:30 to like 3 a.m. when I'm like by myself. Sometimes like my best songwriting is when I don't have an instrument. I'm just laying in bed and I'm like, oh shoot, I gotta type this out.
I love that. I love that.
So what's next for you guys? Do you have any awesome shows coming up? Hold My Heart's dropping next week.
Yeah.
Obviously, this was next. You know, we're here now.
This is next.
I love a very present moment.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say like the biggest thing for us that's helped us was we actually got reached out to by a manager. Her name's Alicia, and she's from New York. So like being from Arkansas, it's hard to get connections. But with her help, we've got a lot of great connections. And so like this fall, we have 2 shows. We landed one in New York on September 6th, and then one in San Francisco on September 18th. So we call it our coast to coast tour, you know. But that's like the biggest step for us. And then we're also releasing a new project, like a collection of songs coming towards the end of the year.
Congratulations, coast to coast, guys. Tell everyone where they can get your music and find and follow your journeys.
Everywhere. iTunes, Spotify. Just look us up, Jackson. Put some spaces in there.
Where can they get the tickets to the tour?
All of our links on our social media should have them. So.
Oh, cool.
And your Instagram handle is?
We are Jackson.
Yeah.
They are Jackson. Stay tuned. We'll be back for more Good Morning La La Land.
This is how we do it. This is how we do it.
Where can you watch the stories of people changing the world? EverTalk TV, the Netflix of talk. I'm Jez Moyer, the co-founder and host of EverTalk TV, and I am thrilled to introduce you to America's first live video streaming talk show network.
We all crave connection. I'm a big fan of videoing a podcast.
The impact that I'm having people on a podcast is I'm having more impact on those people than I ever did in news.
We want to be heard, but we also need to listen.
Podcasts, I understand they are red hot.
It's actually remarkable how scary to me podcasting is. Everybody should have a podcast.
I really wondered why. I mean, we've been doing this for 12 years. Nobody has done this in other arenas.
We have to change the conversation to happiness over financial success. It was like, we have to. We have to.
Honestly, it was meeting new people who had already heard about what we have done and thanking me for the contribution we're making to their lives.
Oh, nice. That's
this
great.
is what my purpose is. This is why I was born.
Yeah.
I think this is my first time my book's been up on TV. This is awesome.
You can binge watch and binge watch.
You can binge watch.
And you can binge watch. Binge watch, or you can binge watch. Please binge watch.
You can binge watch and binge them on EverTalk TV. Thanks for coming. Bye.
entertainment that will inspire, uplift, and empower you. Anytime, anywhere on EverTalk TV, your home for talk. Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning LaLa.
Yeah.
It is Christmas in July.
Christmas.
In the house. Thanks for being with us,
Oh
guys.
my goodness, are you kidding me?
You guys look fabulous.
I know.
Thank you.
We know.
Thank you.
This is delicious too. If you
Yeah,
want to try
that-
it.
Thank you.
That is good.
So good. Tell us about your Christmas in July tour.
Well, we are a podcast. We review Hallmark Christmas movies, and so Hallmark, because they're geniuses, they switched to all Christmas in July. And so we decided to take the podcast on the road. We went to New York. We're here in LA. Of course, we went to Raleigh, the other big city in America. And so we're closing it out tonight here in Los Angeles, and we're really excited about it.
Okay, and what movie are you reviewing tonight?
They're all the same. It doesn't really matter.
It's different titles. And
December Bride.
December Bride is correct.
Let's go with that one.
Now, how did the three of you gentlemen come up with the podcast where you were going to watch Hallmark movies? I mean, what was the original?
Well, I feel bad because there's been a lot of people on here today talking about how they've changing their lives, being better people, and we're just watching Christmas movies.
That's right.
And so they give us the best for last. It was, I don't know, it was just we put our heads together and we thought, what's the best thing we could possibly do with our lives?
And it's watch Hallmark Christmas.
Watch Hallmark Christmas
I actually don't look. I know we've had a lot of positivity, a lot of let's do the right thing, put good energy out there. But the universe has told me time and time again that these movies are bad, and so I've devoted my life to watching bad movies. No, his brain's idea for the podcast.
I do love these movies. It was summertime of last year. I wanted to watch them. And my wife doesn't like them, and so I was like, man, maybe I can call up some boys. And there's not a lot of boys that like them. And so I asked these guys, and they said no. And then I said, but what if we do a podcast? And they said yes, and so here we are.
We ended up doing one in the summer. I was like, this will never take off. And the actor from the movie that we did, Chris Palaha, texted us and said, you guys are really funny. And he came on the show, and the next thing you know, we're on Good Morning America. It was crazy.
So what's been kind of your favorite movie or moment within the podcast?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Wow.
So last holiday season, Hallmark put out 38 Christmas movies between Halloween and New Year's.
38.
38 new ones.
Good for them.
We watched them.
God bless
we
them.
loved them. For me, it was Small Town Christmas, starring Christopher Palaha. I have I guess you could say a man crush on Chris. Love that guy. He's been a big supporter, so that movie holds a special place in my heart.
So laughter is the key to my heart is saying, and clearly you guys are very, very talented. What are your backgrounds? How did you get so freaking funny?
So we have a long history in comedy. Clowns.
We were teachers.
We actually were all. I was a high school principal. We're all from the education background.
Yeah.
That's both of these guys were teachers. I was a principal.
So
we all
it was a coping mechanism, is what you're trying to say?
Sure.
Probably, that's how we'll go with
I
that.
had a little bit of a film background and like actual good movies, and then he thought that would be fun to bring. Like, these movies are not designed to be put under a microscope. They're designed to be played in the background with good feelings. The kids can watch them. They're not designed to be critically taken apart, and so doing that provides the comedy, right? Doing that, like, none of these, the plots sometimes don't even make sense. As long as the guy ends up with a girl, that's all that really matters. And so that made it really easy. The comedy came to us. We didn't have to do much from bringing the comedy standpoint.
What's the hardest part about doing the podcast?
Watching the movies.
Is it just the movie? It's getting through it.
Listen, we 100% watch all of these. This year, Hallmark's doing 40 more because they're trying to kill us. And we watch every single movie. I don't watch them at fast speed. We watch all of them, and we take notes throughout the whole movie.
Yep.
That is an absolute chore for me.
They don't have the 2-time or 4-time.
Not that I'm aware
Listen,
of.
we are purists.
He loves the movies, and I
So
want to
you
be
don't,
does.
you don't want to speed them up. They weren't meant to be watched at 4 times speed. They were meant to be watched in glorious
Chipmunks. They have chipmunks.
They're like 720p.
They're
What
fine
is it
meals.
about these Hallmark movies that people do? They either love to love them or they love to hate them. But there is something about them.
Well, for me, I really love Christmas, and so I know Hallmark does stuff all year round. We do watch the other movies, but there's something about the Christmassy and the cheesiness of the Hallmark movies that work together, that give you the Christmas spirit. Kind of makes you feel like you're a kid again, rooting for those crazy kids to get together.
Everyone loves some sort of comfort food, and Hallmark is comfort food. That's what it is,
that's
right?
what it is.
You can turn on your TV, you know what you're going to get, and that's okay. Like, I keep going back to the same restaurants because I know what I'm going to get. And so for some people, not me particularly, but for some people, the Hallmark movies are that version of comfort food. I don't have any surprises coming my way. I know this is going to be great. I know exactly what's going to happen by the end of the movie. I can come in and out, and I'm going to go back to Hallmark again because that's what I'm going to get. And to be fair, as much as I don't like the movies, everyone from Hallmark that we've talked to has been amazing.
They're amazing.
Super nice, great people, salt of the earth. Everyone we talk to. We're at the Dynasty Typewriter tonight. We have an actor from these movies coming out. We got a film critic coming out. We got a stand-up comedian coming out. All because they really enjoy the experience of being around this Hallmark sensation that is just good vibes. It's just moral, and it's good, and everyone's kind to everyone, and it's a world that we don't really normally get to live in. So that is phenomenal. The movies, the people, and the reason behind it. That's why people go back for that comfort food.
So awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
Please tell everyone where they can listen to your podcast and follow your journey.
Well, what do you think?
Well, you can follow us on the socials.
Yes.
Deck the Hallmark Podcast. You can also.
It's actually at Hallmark Pod.
At Hallmark Podcast.
At Hallmark
Yep.
Podcast.
And then also deckthehallmark.com. Visit us there. You can check out our podcast there and iTunes.
I love that. Get them on the World Wide Web.
Thank you guys so much for all the laughs. We are Good Morning La La Land, America's first live streaming daily talk show, coming to you live Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. All of today's interviews are available on our podcast on iTunes, and the whole show is streaming on EverTalk TV on Apple TV and Roku.
That's right. We're waking up the world together, one cheesy movie at a time. You guys have a fun day. Transform. Have a great one.
It's going to be a good morning.